It was almost midnight when Daniel heard the knock. In a quiet neighborhood where the only sound was the ticking of the old clock in his hallway, that knock felt like thunder. He wasn't expecting anyone. He lived alone. But when he opened the door and saw her, standing barefoot, soaked in rain, wearing nothing but a tearful smile, he realized life was about to change. For both of them. Daniel Carter was a 38-year-old widowed carpenter who lived in a modest two-bedroom house on the edge of Denver, Colorado. Ever since he lost his wife in a car accident 3 years ago, he'd kept to himself. He worked during the day, came home to empty silence, and lived with the memory of love that once filled his home. He didn't expect the knock. And he certainly didn't expect her. She was young, maybe in her early 20s, wrapped in nothing but a thin, oversized white shirt that clung to her soaked skin. Her dark hair was stuck to her face, and her arms were wrapped around herself, trying to hide more than just her body. Her eyes were red, not just from the rain, but from the storm that had passed through her heart. "Please," she whispered. "I didn't know where else to go." Daniel's instincts fought against his loneliness. He could have shut the door. Called someone. But something in her broken voice, in her fragile smile, reminded him of someone he once promised never to abandon. So he let her in. He gave her a blanket, a cup of hot cocoa, and sat across the room as she trembled and stared at the floor. "My name is Lily," she said finally. "I'm sorry for coming here like this. Her voice broke. "I ran. I had to run." He didn't ask right away. He waited. Sometimes, silence can be kinder than questions. Finally, after an hour, she spoke again. "I was supposed to marry a man tomorrow. He's 10 years older. Rich. Controlling. My stepfather made the deal. Said it would save our family. But it would destroy me." She looked up at Daniel. "I climbed out the window. Walked through the storm. I remembered your house." Daniel frowned. "How do you know me?" "You helped my mom once. Years ago. She worked in your woodshop. Said you were kind. That if I was ever in real trouble, I could come here. I guess I held on to that." Daniel's eyes welled up. He remembered Lily's mother, Elena. A hard-working, brave woman who died of cancer just a year after his wife. She used to say, "Kindness echoes, Daniel. You never know when yours will return." Now it had. Over the next few days, Lily stayed in the guest room. She never asked for anything, never crossed a line. She cooked breakfast when Daniel left for work. Folded laundry. Repaired a few cracked dishes with glue. Slowly, like a scared kitten, she started speaking more. Daniel learned she was 22. She loved painting but never went to art school. Her stepfather gambled away their savings and began controlling her every move. Her mother's death left her alone with a man who saw her as property. Daniel offered her safety, not just a roof, but space. Respect. But the town? It wasn't so kind. Rumors began. She's half his age. She came from nowhere. She's after his money. Daniel heard it all. So did Lily. One afternoon, Lily asked, "Should I leave? I don't want to ruin your name." He looked her in the eye. "People will talk no matter what. What matters is what we know in here." He touched his heart. "And I know you're safe here." Still, the pressure was building. One night, a black SUV pulled up outside Daniel's house. Lily froze when she saw it through the window. "It's him," she whispered. Before Daniel could ask, the front door burst open. A man in a designer suit stormed in, followed by 2 bodyguards. "I'm taking her home," he snarled. Daniel stepped in front of Lily. Calm. Firm. "You'll do no such thing." She's mine. She's been promised. You have no right. She's not property, Daniel said coldly. She's a human being. And she decides. Lily stepped out from behind Daniel. Her voice trembled, but her eyes burned. I'd rather die than go back with you. The man reached for her, but Daniel grabbed his arm and twisted it behind his back. I suggest you leave before the police arrive. The man hesitated. Then, seeing Lily's resolve, and Daniel's strength, he backed down. The SUV screeched away into the night. Lily collapsed into Daniel's arms. And cried. And cried. And cried. In the weeks that followed, Daniel helped Lily apply for an emergency protection order. He connected her with a non-profit that helped young women escape forced marriages. He found her a therapist. He bought her paints and canvases. And one morning, he walked into the living room to find a large painting drying near the window. It was a painting of his front door. And standing in front of it, a girl, soaked in rain, with a tearful smile. It's how I looked when you first saw me, she whispered. It's how I knew you were real, he replied. Their bond grew stronger. Not romantic at first, but deeply human. They cooked together. Walked in the garden. Shared silent breakfasts and long late-night talks. Healing takes time, but kindness? It accelerates everything. 1 year later, Lily held her first art exhibition. Daniel stood in the front row, proud like a father, friend, and guardian. When a reporter asked her, "Who changed your life?" she answered, "A stranger who gave me shelter, not just from the storm outside, but from the one inside me." If a man with a broken heart can open his door to a stranger, and a girl with nothing but a tearful smile can rebuild her life from scratch, then so can you. Kindness doesn't always wear a superhero cape. Sometimes, it just answers the door. Yellow heart like this video if it touched your heart. Subscribe to Kindness Stories for more true-to-life tales of love, courage, and healing. And remember, your one small act of kindness can be someone's turning point. Yellow heart.